Number 2, reading aloud your daily text.
出生与在牛津成长。有一个在牛津长大的人，在离开一阵子后，决定要搬回去定居。他的祖父从印度搬回来牛津定居，而他的父亲也是在那里长大的。他喜欢牛津是因为这地方的大小、环境、建筑、历史和文化。
Hi everybody, it's time for reading. Not silent reading, but reading aloud. We have a new article today, an intermediate level article called Oxford, Born and Bred. It's number 55 in our reader. I will read it aloud first so you can listen to the proper pronunciation. And then it will be your turn to read it aloud as well. So you can practice your reading, your speaking, and your pronunciation skills. Now here we go. I spent a lot of last weekend cycling round Oxford. I was looking for a room to rent in a shared house. I've been living in Abingdon, the next town south of Oxford, for a year and a half now, and it's a bit far to cycle to work every day. So it's time to move. I've finally found somewhere, and it turns out that it's just a couple of streets from where my parents had a house when they first got married. So when I phoned my mom and told her about my new house, she was instantly reminiscing about living in that part of Oxford and which of their friends used to live on the street where I'll be living, and so on. Both my dad and I are Oxford born and bred. In 1948, India became independent from Britain, and my grandfather, who had been working in the British government there, came back to England and got a job lecturing at Oxford University. He bought a large house on Boars Hill just outside Oxford and got married. My dad was born and brought up in that house and then stayed in Oxford for university. He and my mom got married, and shortly afterwards they moved back into my grandfather's house to look after him because he had become very ill. A year or so later, I was born. And I also grew up in the same house where my dad had been brought up. I went to school in Oxford, and after going away to university and going abroad for a couple of years, I'm back again and loving it. In Britain, it's not that many people who come back to their hometown after going away to university. And it's definitely unusual to have lived all your life in the same house like my dad has. I like that connection, that history. I feel like I really belong to Oxford and it belongs to me. So, as I was cycling around, I realized again how many things there are I love about Oxford. I like its size, big enough but not too big. I like its greenery. Even in the middle of the city, there are parks, nature reserves, and bits of wild hedgerows and fields. I like its history. The university, the castle, the old villages buried in the middle of modern housing estates. I like its architecture, especially the golden stone in winter sunlight. I like its culture. It's full of people from all over the world, here to study or to work, but it's full of traditions and Englishness at the same time. That's it for our article. It's all about living and being born and raised in Oxford, England. I imagine it's a beautiful city. I've never been there, but I've always wanted to go there. What an interesting story. I hope you have the chance to go to Oxford too. Now it's your turn to do some reading aloud. At least go through the first couple of paragraphs to practice your reading aloud, your speaking, and your pronunciation skills, and you'll be surprised how quickly your English improves. That's it for our reading. Let's go on to the next part of our class.